We are living through a moment of profound danger in the Middle East, one that has brought the world closer to a major power conflict than at any point in recent memory. The recent chain of events began with a dramatic and unprecedented act. On the 28th of February, 2026, a joint US-Israeli operation resulted in the assassination of Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, in Tehran. This was a direct strike against the head of a sovereign state, a red line many thought inviolable. Iran's response was swift and furious, plunging the region into a sprawling war. What began as a targeted killing has spiraled into a far broader, unpredictable confrontation. In the days that followed, Iran launched what it claimed were over 500 ballistic missiles and nearly 2,000 drones. These were not symbolic gestures. Iranian sources say the attacks targeted Israeli territory and American military installations across the Middle East. The US Fifth Fleet's base in Bahrain was struck, and the United Arab Emirates reported intercepting missiles over its skies. Violence hit civilian targets too. Israeli strikes reportedly hit schools in Iran, and shrapnel from intercepted missiles killed a civilian in Abu Dhabi. This tit-for-tat escalation has created a cycle of violence that's hard to contain. When we analyze a crisis like this, it is crucial to understand the specific dynamics that could push it from a regional war into a truly global one. There are four primary factors, four horsemen of escalation, that we must watch with extreme vigilance. The first and most terrifying is the nuclear threat. Iran has long maintained a nuclear program that the West has suspected is aimed at developing a weapon. In a moment of existential crisis, a cornered regime in Tehran might see the pursuit or even the use of a nuclear device as its only guarantee of survival. While experts widely agree Iran does not currently possess a deployable nuclear warhead, the risk lies in the unforeseen. A miscalculation, a desperate gamble, a move to accelerate its program could trigger a preemptive response from Israel or the United States, leading to an unimaginable escalation. The second driver of escalation is the role of regional proxies. Iran has spent decades cultivating a network of allied militant groups across the Middle East, with Hezbollah in Lebanon being the most formidable. To understand how this conflict could become a world war, we must define what that term truly means. A world war is not merely a large or bloody regional conflict. It is a systemic breakdown characterized by sustained, direct combat between the military forces of multiple great powers fought across several geographic theaters. For the current crisis to reach that threshold, several specific, terrible things would likely need to happen. The first and most obvious trigger would be the use of a nuclear weapon. Such an act would shatter a 75-year-old taboo and would almost certainly provoke a massive, unpredictable response from other nuclear-armed states, fundamentally altering the nature of the conflict and, indeed, the world. A second pathway to a global war involves a direct military confrontation between the United States and either Russia or China. Imagine a scenario where Russian or Chinese naval vessels attempt to escort Iranian tankers through the Strait of Hormuz and are fired upon by the US Navy. As the crisis has intensified, the international community has responded not with a unified voice, but with a fractured series of maneuvers aimed at protecting national interests. The most immediate concern for many has been the economic fallout. The effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz has removed a massive amount of oil from the global market. In response, the International Energy Agency has taken the unprecedented step of authorizing the release of 400 million barrels of oil from the strategic reserves of its member countries. This is the largest such intervention in the agency's history. It is a sign of just how seriously world leaders are taking the economic threat. The diplomatic landscape is equally fraught. So, how close are we to a third world war? Today, on March 15, 2026, the situation is more perilous than at any time in this century, yet we have not crossed the final threshold. We are witnessing a major regional war, one with devastating consequences and global repercussions. The humanitarian crisis is immense. The economic shock is severe. The risk of miscalculation is extraordinarily high. However, the key elements that would define a true world war are not yet in place. Most importantly, there has not yet been a direct military clash between the armed forces of the United States and either Russia or China. The world's major powers, for all their heated rhetoric and strategic posturing, still seem to be operating with a degree of caution,